We're on a journey. We've boarded the piano technique train. Our first stop was in five-finger exercise land. And when we were there, I showed you some basic five-finger exercises for beginners and even more advanced students. Now you can check out that video if you haven't already watched it. I'll include a link in the description of this video. Now here, I want to show you some of the more complex exercises from that same little book that I recommended. Once again, I'll leave that link in the description. Now these exercises are going to require a little thought and a lot of concentration. And I'm only going to show you a select few of them. There are quite a few more like this in the book. So if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can purchase the book. Like I say, I'll leave a link in the description. You can also download the PDFs for free if you prefer. And I'll leave a link for that as well. So you've got no excuse for not getting these exercises to look at. This is going to be our last series of exercises before we head off to Scale Station. We'll look briefly at some exercises in this video where you're practicing passing your thumb under your fingers. I'll explain more as we get to that. Anyway, all of this will help you prepare to play scales and also help you prepare for the third stop on the piano technique train, arpeggio world. To sum this up, practicing five-finger exercises, scales, and arpeggios will prepare you for improvising runs and fills when you're playing from a chord chart. So I encourage you to stick with it. Some of this will not be easy, but the results will be worth the effort. I'm going to demonstrate for you a few more of these five-finger exercises. The ones we've been playing up till now have been basically both hands together, playing a series of notes. Now we're going to get into some here that are a little more complex and require a little more thought, actually a lot more thought and concentration. And what they consist of is holding down one note, and then the remaining fingers play patterns while holding down that one note. Now these can get pretty hard. I'm not going to kid you, but they will give you the results that you're looking for to help you increase your finger dexterity and finger independence. So I encourage you definitely to do these one hand at a time. We're starting here with the right hand and holding down the thumb while the other four fingers play different patterns. So here's the first one. This is exercise 34 in the book. Just going to play the right hand. Now you may have to go very slow in order to do this. The left hand, it's not the thumb holding down, but the fifth finger. Chances are good that your left hand has never had to work this hard. Then, of course, the ultimate challenge is to do both hands together. And then the next exercise is a different pattern while holding down the thumb in the right hand. And holding down the fifth finger in the left. Now, if you're finding this incredibly difficult, please don't get discouraged. Just keep at it, maybe only for a few minutes a day. You don't want to overdo it with these type of exercises. The key is to not let your hands tense up. Try to stay as relaxed as you can. Let's do a couple more of these with holding down the thumb in the right hand and the fifth finger in the left. Then the left hand, holding down the fifth finger. And finally, all right, now we're going to skip over here to the increasingly difficult exercise where we're holding down your second finger. That would be your second finger in the right hand, finger 2, and then in the left hand, it's going to be finger 4. Now, I'm only going to do these one hand at a time because these require a lot of thought, a lot of concentration. But once again, we're working towards finger dexterity and finger independence. Now watch how slowly I'm going to have to do this, because this is difficult, even for an advanced piano player. Now, I'm going to show you something that will make these exercises a little bit easier to play, a little bit easier to do. Instead of trying to play it legato, we're going to play it staccato, something like this. Now, I have found that this makes it a little bit easier to get the coordination. Here's another variation on this same exercise where we're holding down the second finger in the right hand. So try these playing them staccato, and I think you'll find them a little more manageable than if you're trying to play them legato. It can be almost impossible. It's a little harder to do when you're playing them legato. As you can see, even I have a struggle with it. So if you play it staccato, you're still getting a good workout here. And you're still teaching your fingers to think independently, as it were. So you continue on, and we come to a series where you're holding down the third finger in the right hand and also in the left hand. Whoops, see what I mean? These are difficult. Another variation. Remember, this is going to take some patience and concentration. And if you've purchased the book or if you've downloaded the PDFs, then you'll find that there are several more in this vein. They're easy to read as far as notes are concerned, but they are difficult to play. And then we have some where we're holding down the fourth finger in the right hand and the second finger in the left hand. Here's one more like that. By the way, you'll notice I'm only playing through these once, and that may be all you can do at first. But then the ultimate challenge is to increase the number of repetitions. And then finally we get to some exercises where you're holding down the fifth finger in the right hand and your thumb in the left. Of course, the ultimate challenge is to play both hands together. Here's another version. And anyway, as you look through the book, you will find several more like this. Now, eventually it gets to the point where you're holding down two notes, and it gets even harder. So we're not going to worry about those at this time. Just content yourself with these exercises where you're holding down one note and your other four fingers are playing these different patterns. This is going to be quite a challenge. I encourage you to stick with it. You only need to do this for just a few minutes. Maybe just take one or two of these and practice them slowly, deliberately. Playing them staccato makes them easier. If you can eventually work your way up to playing them legato, you'll be doing quite well. I've already gotten my workout. The last thing we're going to do before we head on to Scale Station as we journey on the piano technique train is we're going to practice passing the thumb under the fingers. This will prepare you for the practice of scales and arpeggios, which in turn will prepare you as we get ready to learn how to create runs and fills when playing from a chord chart. So first we're going to practice passing the thumb under your second finger. Watch the fingering here. The second I hit the second note, my thumb immediately goes under. Same thing in the left hand. Thumb is already ready now to play the next note. Here in the next exercise, the thumb will be passing under the third finger. Notice the very second that I hit that next note, the thumb slides under so that it can play the next note. Then the thumb will now cross under the fourth finger. Now it's a little harder because your thumb's got to go underneath all those other fingers. Thank you for watching and for playing along. I realize that some of these exercises could be rather difficult, so I encourage you to stick with it because you will see the results. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave those in the comment section. I make every effort to respond to every comment and answer any questions that you might have. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one, where we're going to end up in Scale Station.